So, young lady, you are?
I'm Allie Nikolai.
Allie Nikolai. Where are you from, Allie?
Originally New Prague, Minnesota.
New Prague? Where are you from now?
Well, now I live in Washington, D.C. and go to school up there, so.
Ah.
Yeah.
So are you home because of the shutdowns?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, I am.
How much of a scramble was that for you to get from Washington, D.C. to here?
You know, it was a little bit of a scramble. It was definitely something that totally blindsided me. At first, I didn't think it was going to be this big of a deal, but then my friend was like, oh no, like these numbers are getting really bad. You got to get in touch with your parents and start heading home. And so, you know, I mean, it was a matter of 24 hours. The school just called it and they said, go home. And at first they were really optimistic, saying that we'll be back March 30th. But as you can see, I'm still home 2 months later.
You're 20.
Yes.
This is not, being out at a rally like this is not a normal activity for most 20-year-olds in college. What are you studying in college?
So I'm studying broadcast journalism.
Okay.
And so journalism as well as theology and politics as a whole.
What college are you in?
I go to Catholic University of America.
Okay. So you're out here because...
I'm out here because I think the shutdown, especially in Minnesota, is absolutely ridiculous. People are done being told that they can't go to certain places just because, oh, there's too many of you there, there's too many there. I'm sick of not being able to go to Mass on Sunday. And I mean, if we look at the numbers, Minnesota's, the population is 5.6 million people. There's been 600 and a little over 600 deaths. Of course, we mourn those deaths and we're sorry that that happened, but we also have to look at, okay, unfortunately, majority of these deaths are at senior care centers, they're at nursing homes. The median age of these people passing away are 86 years old. So let's think of ways that we can protect them, protect those facilities, make sure that they are safe. But why should we shut down everything else? I mean, people's livelihoods are on the line. I mean, families are not able to provide for themselves. Farmers are having to go and slaughter cattle, slaughter pigs, slaughter chickens because they are not able to afford to feed them, and there's barely any demand. I mean, different areas are falling apart, and it's absolutely unacceptable. And there's just no reason for our state here with such low numbers to be put under that kind of rule.
Okay, so the argument would be the numbers are low because we've taken these drastic measures. Is that, do you think that's a valid statement?
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so at first everything was, oh, we got to slow the curve, we got to lower the curve, we got to stop the curve. When did stopping and lowering the curve turn into we got to find a cure? You know, we did our part for 2 weeks, and you know what?
Or longer.
Yeah, and longer. You know, everyone expected, yes, everyone was up for the 2 week thing for the most part. Like, yes, totally, we were bound together. We're like, we're going to get this down. Okay, so we lowered the curve and we're still in lockdown. And it's inevitable. It's inevitable that cases are going to rise as we start testing more people. Cases are going to start rising, you know, and it's just inevitable that more cases are going to happen. So when are we going to be able to get out? You know?
So, being a broadcast journalist major, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I assume you watched the governor's speech last night.
Yes.
So, a couple of takeaways from you on the governor's speech. What would you...
It sounded like he wanted to get everything out before someone came and punched him in the face. I mean, it was very quick. It was very, I could tell he was nervous. I mean, it seemed like it lacked compassion. I mean, of course, he addressed, oh, you know, we feel so sorry. I apologize for shutting down the economy and ruining this and ruining that. But we're all in this together. We're going to get through this together.
I'm sensing a little bit of snark there.
A little bit. It's okay once in a while. We got to put it on there.
It's my gift. So, there's a passage in the scriptures. Proverbs chapter 12 verse 10 says that the compassion of the wicked is cruel. The compassion of the wicked is cruel. That's the last half of that verse. You brought up him saying he was sorry for the shutdown and the effect that this has had. When you heard him say that, but then say that we're really not changing anything, do you think that statement, I'm sorry, but, do you think that's a legitimate comment? Do you have a legitimate feeling on his part?
You know, I don't. I think he's just trying to keep the peace, trying to make sure that he can be reelected, making sure that everyone's all happy, but I don't think he's truly taking into account some of the stories that we're hearing from these shutdowns and the people that are here and truly struggling. He's not struggling. He lives in a beautiful mansion. He's still getting his paycheck. And so I mean...
Oh, he took a 10% pay cut, though.
Okay, so that's good. That's good, but I mean, people are taking 100% pay
Right.
cut, so...
Well, thank you for saying that, because I threw that out there to see what your response would be. I'm not professional. I'm
great.
completely have an agenda. No. So if you were able to sit down with the governor, not as a broadcast journalist, as a major in that,
Yeah.
but just as a citizen of the state of Minnesota, who has not only been impacted on it from the national level or federal level because your school was shut down and you had to come home, but also across the board as a citizen, as a taxpayer, and whatnot, what would your message to the governor right now be? What would be the one most important thing you would say to him?
I would say, I mean, listen to the families that can't provide for themselves. I would hope to be a beacon of someone that can share these people's stories to them. I'd be like, listen, this is tough all around, and I understand that these are hard decisions, but we have to think forward. We have to look forward. What is this going to do for our economy? What is this going to do when I want to get married and have kids and buy a house? Like, how is this going to affect my economy? It's not going to help me any. I'm not going to be able to provide. My husband, future husband, you know, won't be able to provide. You know, you just have to think forward. Like, what is this going to say about our country? How is this going to affect future issues? I mean, this isn't going to be the last pandemic that we see. You know, so look at the precedents that you're setting for future generations, and how is that going to affect them? And I mean, we're going to see these long-lasting effects for a long time, so you need to think forward, you need to think more smart. It can't just be one-sided, and it's time to put politics aside, time to side with states that actually have, you know, geographically, alike people-wise. I mean, why are we teaming up with this strip of states that are pretty much majority, you know, Democrat governors, have really not much of the same economy? Like, why are we in a loop of that? Why are we not meeting with South Dakota, North Dakota, you know, Wisconsin?
Iowa.
Yeah, Iowa. It's just...
I don't know if we want to meet with Wisconsin.
I know. Well, the Supreme Court we might want to meet
The Supreme
with,
Court, yes, maybe. Well, I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. Yes,
awesome.
Thank you.
As always, thanks for watching the video. Thanks for being open-minded. Thanks for listening. I would ask that over here in the corner, somewhere on your screen, you hit the subscribe button. It's important, not for me, but because mainstream media, legacy media, isn't going to get the word out. They're not going to let people who don't toe the established line speak. So for the sake of liberty and for the sake of the defense of this nation, small little independent voices like mine need to be heard, especially the interviews. It's got very little to do with my commentary and a lot more to do with the interviews and the people who are affected when liberties are tread on. So once again, hit the subscribe button, like, subscribe, and share. Thank you very much.